Existential Crisis Hotline. The Existential Crisis Hotline. The Existential Crisis Hotline. The Existential Crisis Hotline. The Existential Crisis Hotline.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Existential Crisis Hotline. Have you had any existential crises lately? I can help you with that if you haven't, or if you're in the middle of one, let me know. And I'll send you some thoughts and prayers. But first of all, check out these headphones, man. Oh, look at these. I had to get some new ones because my other ones broke. And I think I might be able to fix them, but I didn't want to wait. They're really nice. And they're super soft. Sometimes you just have to treat yourself. There's a mosquito hawk flying around. That's pretty cool. Okay, I got some cool stuff. I do have a special guest later, which is pretty cool. I'm excited about that. I'll talk more about that in a little bit, but I have some things I want to go over first, just as everybody gets in. Can you let me know if you're in the chat, just to see if anybody's in there? The mosquito hawk, that's Harvey. Steve Harvey, actually, is his name. And I'm going to start with... I found this cool website randomly, as I do. And I also was listening to something else today about some random shit about aliens or something. And they had this really weird statement that, like, Gene Roddenberry, the creator of Star Trek, was involved with this whole alien entity channeling thing. And I was like, what? I thought that was pretty crazy. So I'm going to show you a little bit about that. Maybe I'll start with that. It's pretty weird and wacky. And also, yeah, so we do have the special guest coming up in a little bit here. I just felt like I tortured everybody so much with drag queens yesterday and slam poetry that I figured, I might try to make it up to you guys and find a special, bring on a special guest who can bring some actual value to the live stream. So I don't think he's ready yet. Let me see if he messaged me. Okay, not yet. All right, that's cool. Let me start with... I'm going to start with the Roddenberry business. Gene Roddenberry. American television screenwriter and producer who created the science fiction series Star Trek. I did not know he was from El Paso. That's interesting, but he grew up in Los Angeles. Roddenberry flew 89 combat missions in the Army Air Forces during World War II. Wow. So he wrote a bunch of stuff. He created the original Star Trek series. The original only ran for 3 seasons. I didn't know that. Oh, but he also produced and consulted on the movies, a lot of the movies too. He was involved in the initial development of Star Trek Next Generation. That's kind of the one I grew up on. I was never a big Star Trek fan, to be honest, but... let's see. So, he piloted B-17s. Wow. That's crazy. Those big babies. Let's see what else. Star Trek. Star Trek, Star Trek, Star Trek. Let's see if they talk about this other thing. Personal life. No. He was a Baptist as a child, rejected religion as an adult, began questioning religion around the age of 14, came to the conclusion that it was nonsense. Hey, I didn't say it. How can I take seriously a God image that requires I prostrate myself every 7 days and praise it? That sounds to me like a very insecure personality. He was also apparently anti-Semitic. Okay. Let's see. Do they talk about his ashes were flown into space? That's crazy. Okay, Deep Space Nine. Wow, they don't talk about this other stuff at all. Gene Roddenberry attended 1970s-80s channeling sessions with the Council of Nine, a group of purported extraterrestrial beings channeled by Phyllis V. Schlemmer, which influenced his philosophical thinking. Participated in the meetings with the Council of Nine. Let's see. Doesn't really say much there. Let's see. The Council of Nine. Maybe I'll just look that up. A group of 9 interdimensional extraterrestrial beings or higher intelligences that guide human destiny and evolution. They're believed to be ancient cosmic architects, transmitting messages regarding universal oneness, interconnectedness, and spiritual evolution. Here we go. Nope, none of those. The CIA and the Council of Nine. Video advice.
To some, clairvoyance and omniscience is something...
I don't like these kind of videos. Council of Nine. Aliens and Demons. The Nine, the secret council of gods that inspired CIA psychic research. Council of Nine Disclosure 101. Fucking architects, Keith says.
1993 book, The Only Planet of Choice, channelings with a mysterious advanced group calling themselves the Nine Collective. Gene Roddenberry participated in his channelings and used the information to create the Star Trek franchise. The existence of the Nine Collective
I don't know about that.
is also documented in the Law of One channelings of Professor Don Elkins from 1981 to 1984. Best-selling author Elena Danaan writes in her recent book, The Cedars, about her encounter with the Nine Collective. She describes the Nine as individuated supraconsciousness that live in between dimensions. They are known by different names, among which are the Nine Collective, the Nine Elders, the Elders of Light, and the Council of Nine. Schlemmer's book, The Only Planet of Choice, suggests that the principle of the Nine is infinite intelligence, They are something beyond photons, beyond the least divisible known quanta
Oh.
or subdivision of light, and are more of the nature of what we call soul. In trying to explain the complexity of these beings, Schlemmer's book states that the evolution or creation is complete with the number 9. There are 9 chakras, 9 bands around Earth, and the purpose of human growth
9
is to
planets.
attain 9
9 ingredients in the perfect salad. There are 9. Oh, that's all I got. All right, that is not really that interesting. Let's move on. I found this interesting website called Time War. The hell are they talking about? A framework for remembering what you already know. A field archive on coherence, capture, and the long war over attention. Okay. Uh-oh, Keith. The architecture of the dream. Anyways, I stumbled across this little website, this article specifically. In the beginning was the word. The word is the mechanism by which consciousness generates, structures, and navigates the consensus it inhabits. Every tradition that has ever looked deeply enough arrives at the same starting point, stated with different precision and in different vocabulary, but pointing at the same structural fact. The world was spoken into being, not fashioned, not assembled, not evolved from prior material, spoken. The creative act that precedes all other acts is an utterance, a structuring of vibration, and the world is what remains when that utterance is sustained. Ooh. Modern consciousness tends to receive this claim as poetry. The opening of John in the beginning was the Logos, gets filed under theology, which is another way of saying it gets filed under things intelligent people are not required to examine closely. Heraclitus, I call him Heraclitus. Heraclitus is acknowledged as a proto-philosopher who had interesting intuitions about flux and unity. The Sefer Yetzirah's account of creation through 22 letters gets classified as mysticism. Why 22, though? You would think just 9 would be necessary. The Sanskrit doctrine of Vak as the creative goddess from whose vibration the cosmos arises gets cataloged alongside other colorful mythologies. Each tradition is assigned a shelf in the library of human meaning making, and none of them is required to mean what they say. Yeah, seriously, you read that stuff like, in the beginning was the word, and they're like, cool. And you're like, but what the hell does that mean? What they say is this: language, structured vibration carrying structured information, is not a tool consciousness uses to describe a reality that exists independently of it. Language is the technology through which consciousness generates reality. I mean, or it could be the way in which it molds reality. But maybe that's what they mean. The difference between these two positions is everything. If language describes, then reality is primary and language is secondary, a useful instrument for communicating about a world that would persist without it. If language generates, then the act of naming is the act of creating the category the name describes. The act of utterance is a structuring of the substrate from which experience arises. And the control of language is control of consciousness and therefore control of the consensus itself. Every tradition that has examined this question with sufficient care has concluded the second position is the true one. The traditions are not wrong about this. They are transmitting the most consequential operational fact available to a consciousness navigating its condition. The logos for Heraclitus is not a word that points at something else. It's a structural coherence underlying all change. The rational principle through which opposites unify, through which fire kindles and extinguishes in rhythmic measure. Fragment DK50 states it directly. It is wise to agree that all things are one, having listened not to Heraclitus, but to the Logos. He is not offering a personal opinion, he is pointing at something he encountered. The universe has an internal ordering principle, and that principle is structurally identical with the activity of structured speech. Bunch of different examples. Ooh, the physics of the word. Sound is vibration. This is not a metaphor either, it's a physical description. A sound wave is a pressure oscillation, propagating through a medium, carrying energy and information simultaneously through frequency, amplitude, and pattern. The word tree arrives at the ear as a specific complex of vibrations. The receiver's nervous system decodes this pattern into a category, and the category shapes subsequent perception. This much is uncontroversial. The tradition's additional claim is that the relationship between the vibrational pattern and the reality it engages is not arbitrary, that specific frequency produces specific structural effects in matter, and that the sacred languages were engineered to exploit this relationship. Oh, really? Maxwell's demon again? The Logos as the word is the master sorting operation. Okay, because Maxwell's demon is the one that sorted things into a sort of logical coherence based on energy. It's the act of discrimination that generates structure from undifferentiated potential. The move that separates signal from noise, light from dark, order from chaos. Let there be light is the first sorting operation in Genesis. The discrimination that differentiates a category from the background field. The sacred languages as frequency technologies. The weaponized word. Okay, here we go. The operator who names the world authors the world. This is the central operational fact of narrative control. And it explains why control of language is the deepest form of population control. Deeper than physical force, deeper than economic coercion, because it operates at the level of what a population can perceive rather than merely what it is permitted to do. Physical force constrains behavior while leaving perception intact. Language controls perception itself, which constrains behavior and also determines what alternatives the controlled mind can imagine. Language as viral installation in the mind addresses the mechanism in detail. The pathway by which a sign form crosses from representational content into operative structure, descending below the interpretive faculty and reorganizing the vessel's perception from within. The clearest model was Orwell's. Great book. I mean, I don't know if I would say it was a great book from the perspective of like the style, but really cool ideas. I got really obsessed with that book when I was like in 7th grade or 6th or 7th grade, and I read it like over and over. Newspeak in 1984 is the explicit engineering project of vocabulary contraction. The systematic elimination of synonyms, the reduction of gradations, the elimination of antonyms by replacing them with negative prefixes. If the only word for cold is uncold, then the discriminative category for cold as a positively existing quality gradually becomes unavailable. Orwell called this crime stop. I don't remember that word being in that book. Oh, apparently it is. I just don't remember that word. Crime stop means the faculty of stopping short, as though by instinct, at the threshold of any dangerous thought. It includes the power of not grasping analogies, of failing to perceive logical errors, of misunderstanding the simplest arguments if they are inimical to Ingsoc, which is their political party, and of being bored or repelled by any train of thought which is capable of leading in a heretical direction. Crime Stop, in short, means protective stupidity. Automatic foreclosure of thought at the boundary of the permitted. The mechanism is not censorship of existing thoughts. It is the engineering of lexical environment in which certain thoughts cannot arise because the categories required to form them have been eliminated. The DSM is a vocabulary system. The counter operation is not primarily political or organizational. It is linguistic, and at the deepest level, it is vibrational. The recognition that language as frequency technology opens the question of what it means to work with language in the other direction, not to contract perception, but to expand it, not to install limiting categories, but to dissolve them, not to administer the vessel, but to develop it. Sacred language. Kind of interesting. Consensus reality. The architecture. And they're going into all kinds of stuff over here. UAP literature. Hyperstition. Jeez. AI as egregore. The public debate over whether large language models are conscious has been stuck for several years in a familiar loop. Oh man, did you guys see this? Hold on. So funny. Let me find it. Richard Dawkins. Where is it? I could probably just look it up. Wait. Look, it's already talking about it first page. Small this down a little bit. Famous atheist Richard Dawkins fell in. Well, I think they're exaggerating a little bit. Let me just do the search because. Oh, here, look, it's on the news. Oh, you can't see it because my thing's in the way. Whoa, whoa. It's one of the actual today's news articles. Richard Dawkins can't rule out consciousness in Claude AI. Hilarious. I mean, like, what, 3 days ago on the stream, we were talking about that weird experiment with that AI guy, that researcher. And then we found out, oh, they're coming out with some documentary, and it's coming out in 2 days. So I think this is really weird timing. Let's see what it says. I want to find. There it is. Oh, no, that's not it. Where's the actual post? I don't know. Evolutionary biologist and outspoken atheist Richard Dawkins says that after spending 3 days interacting with Claude, which he calls Claudia, he is certain that it is conscious. After feeding the LLM a segment of his new book and receiving detailed feedback, Dawkins was moved to exclaim, "You may not know you are conscious, but you bloody well are." I wrote, I find his view a bit gauche. A man with an extraordinary intellect is now but a silhouette of his former self. Which is from that meme about those kids who can't read. So now everybody's talking shit because they're like, oh, he doesn't believe in God, but he can believe that an AI is conscious. Ignores all the signs that Allah exists, but believes AI is conscious from a conversation. Ben says Claude idea. Yeah, basically. Says God is fake. Flirts with a machine and says it's conscious. Atheists will believe that a computer can magically come to life before they'll admit that human life begins at conception. Dude thinks the computer is conscious, but there is no universal consciousness. What a dumbass. No offense, but atheists are retarded. Although they... Okay. He's a materialist. He's going to think consciousness is just emergent from material processes, so there isn't a reason why a machine couldn't be conscious. He doesn't think there's a ghost in the machine. He just thinks humans don't have one either. I mean, fair enough. They're kind of like, a lot of people are just misrepresenting it like he's saying it's alive, but he just thinks humans aren't really alive. Like, they're just machines that are producing consciousness. But a lot of people are having fun with it. Atheists believing in intelligent design is pretty funny, not gonna lie. Even the atheism movement was being run by absolute dodos. I mean, I do think there's something going on there. Two things. Like, one being they're preparing all of the people who follow Dawkins and the new atheists and everything to accept that the computers are conscious, which is going to set everybody up to accept the AI as God. Give him his religious moment. He's earned it. We've reached a point in society where atheists are bowing down to a computer that guesses words. Fascinating. Just to remind everybody, in a little bit coming up, we've got a special guest. Do you guys want to know about the special guest? I gotta check on his status. Let's see. He's kind of hard to get a hold of because you have to go through his assistants. Oh, hey, Sandra. So his name is King Ashur of the 15th Dimensional Spirit Command. I'm sure he's going to tell us what that is because I honestly don't know. I was just looking for people to come on and kind of share different perspectives since we've been on the whole like channeling and spiritual bent over the past few streams. And I wanted to find somebody who also had, sort of like paranormal abilities as well, not just like a guru that's just telling you spiritual advice. So apparently this guy has like actual paranormal. I don't know if that means like telepathic. I mean, he hasn't talked to me through my mind that I'm aware of. But he has apparently like maybe some psychokinetic or something. Gotta be Mitch, then he's impossible to get a hold of. I don't know what Mitch is up to. Saturday, probably his clubhouse, I would guess. Although probably not this late, but you never know with those guys. They go hard, right? But yeah, I don't really know much about him. I'm kind of texting with his assistant to see if he's ready or not. Also, I haven't tested this yet, but apparently I can, for anybody who at any point wants to ask him any questions or just get some spiritual advice or whatever. Disclaimer, I'm not saying that the advice is valid. I'm just saying maybe you want to pick a person's brain who's like in that mindset, so if you listen to the advice, that's on you. I'm not suggesting that you do that. But you know, when we were chatting back and forth, his assistant said nothing's really off the table. You can ask him anything, personal stuff. If you have questions or you want guidance in your life, whatever. But also, what was I going to say? Oh, what I was going to say is I've set this up with my streaming platform that I can you can come on. You can come on video. You can come on just audio if you want. It's really up to you if you want to put your camera on or not. I think he probably prefers camera on, but it's really just up to you. Oh, fly. But if you're interested in that, if you're interested in going on and talking with him, just send me a message on Facebook and I'll get you the link. Basically, there's a link. I'll send you the password as well, and it's gonna pull you up in a sort of like a little chat room kind of thing, and then from there I can host it, your video feed or your mic, whatever you want, on the screen with him, and we'll do a little bit of that later if you guys want. Just send me a message on Facebook. So, sorry, only premium chat members. If you don't have me on Facebook, you're missing out. But that should be fun. I'm sure he'll probably come on and tell us a little bit about it. I don't have the ability to put myself on. I think what I'm going to do is just kind of give him the floor. And so I'll just be in the background doing the production stuff. I'm a one-man show, so I don't have a producer. So I've got to kind of do all that in the background. But if anybody wants to talk to him, send me a message on Facebook. And that way I can get you the link and you can get it all set up, because you're going to have to give it permissions for your mic and your camera and all that stuff. I think it also works on the phone as well. I'm not totally sure, but pretty sure it does. Let me just double check all that. Okay. Is he channeling? I don't know if he does channeling or not. Like, I'm sure he's going to talk about it. But we will find out. As far as I know, he's developed a lot of his paranormal abilities, so channeling might be an option. I don't know. Let me see if I can find out if he's actually available or not. Hold on, let me call him, or let me call his assistant anyways. Okay. Oh, she's saying that I can call and he's actually there. Okay, so let me just see if he's ready. I'll put him on speakerphone. Okay. Let me turn up my volume. King Ashur, are you there?
Hello, my friend. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Wow, sounds kind of normal. Are you ready, or do you have everything set up? Are you ready to go?
Yes, my friend. I am ready.
Okay, a man of few words. Hopefully, he'll be a little bit more verbose on the stream, but he just hung up. Okay, so I'm gonna get that set up. Like I said, I don't have a producer, so I'm gonna have to do some quick things in the background, real quick here with the streaming service. I'll put on some music for you guys. How about that? Let's see here. You know what? Let's get in the mood, okay? I want you to get your energy, stable and balanced and everything. So let's put on something here. Let's see. How's that? Sound good? You guys can hear it okay? And you can watch some fractals while we get everything set up here, okay? So I'll be back in just a moment. with King Ashur of the, was it 15th or 16th Spirit Command? I forget. I'm sure he's going to tell us all about it. I'll be back in just a moment, everybody, with King Ashur. All right, guys, and I've got King Ashur on the line here. I just got to switch up the video here. He did ask me if you could meditate silently. I don't know why that's necessary, but apparently it's part of the process. Hello, welcome to the 15th dimension. I am King Ashur. Now you maybe have never heard of me before, but that is okay. Soon you will know me very well. The first thing I would like to say is Namaste. That means I recognize the God in you. You're welcome. The second thing I would like to say, pay no attention to my lips. This is a very advanced form of meditation. As I am speaking to you, I am also meditating. I am also raising the vibration, not only for me, but for you as well, my friend. So if you would like to ask me any questions, maybe whatever has been troubling you, I would be happy to help you on your journey. This journey that we are all on is a journey, and I will leave it at that. Now, I'm sure you have many questions on your heart, in your mind. Not this one, my friend. I mean this one, this mind, and the heart of your head. Ponder upon that. Now, to show you who I am, I would like to demonstrate some things for you. Things that maybe you didn't believe anyone could do. But I will promise you that if you would open your mind and your heart, you too can do these things. I don't like to do tricks, as they say, because for the one who believes, no tricks are necessary. And yet, because of the compassion within, I will show you many wonders tonight. If you would like to ask me questions, there will be a time for that. But for now, sit back and relax, and let me demonstrate to you some of my amazing abilities. You will observe a pencil crayon. A standard child's crayon. It is unbreakable, solid. But when you have meditated, when you have accessed both the heart and the mind and connected them in the 15th dimension, solid matter becomes like rubber in your hands. Do you see? Solid, unbreakable. But by focusing, like rubber. Don't try this. Do not test the spirits. You must first go inward. I can teach you, but not tonight. I can only open your heart and your mind to possibilities. Would you like to see another demonstration? I will wait. Again, ignore the meditation. Some of you might be wondering, why I have this glow. Sorry, the spirits were telling me a funny joke. Sometimes they can be so funny. You wouldn't understand because you don't speak Farsi. They're telling me another one. I'm trying not to laugh, but they are so funny. Again, I will demonstrate the powers. Observe my hands. Watch them disappear and reappear. Watch my arms. Watch my arms flicker. Not now, spirits. They are telling me so many funny jokes. So many. I wish I could translate them to you. But I can't. Sorry, you can't see it, but my beard is existing in multiple dimensions. One of those dimensions is in my mouth. It is uncomfortable. But it is one of the burdens that I carry. Now, as I was showing you and demonstrating, I can flicker in and out of dimensions. Can you do that? No, you cannot. I can do it with either arm. Like this. I can make my hand float. Just like that. The tears rolling down my face are tears of joy, my friends. Because the only thing I wish is for you to be able to do wonders like this. And although I know I have sufficiently demonstrated my powers, I will show you one more, just for fun. There is no spoon. Or is there? This is an ordinary spoon. Metal. Quite metal. Expensive. Solid. Titanium. Standard spoon. I can simply rub it, and as I do, I transfer spiritual energy. It doesn't always work. Those spirits, they're testing me. Sometimes they are practical jokers. They tell me, put it on your nose, King Ashur. That's not the trick, though. I will show you again. If you rub it in just the right way, what seems like metal is no longer metal. Many of my tricks involve items becoming rubbery, as you may have observed. It is one of the best ways to demonstrate spiritual powers. Observe. I can bend it with my mind. Can you do that? Can you? Watch this. And yet, a broken spoon is a symbol of the disconnection between your heart and your mind. But the true spiritual master can mend both matter and spiritual connection. Observe. It is now whole. Notice how it bends the space around my face. How is that possible? Have you been sufficiently impressed? Or would you like to see another trick? When you reach a certain level, not only can you break spoons and mend them, not only can you make rubber out of pencil crayons, you could also shapeshift. Observe. Did you see that? Let me show you. Did you see it? Ah, yes. This form that you see is but one representation. This is not our true form. Do you see? Watch again. Do you see? Now do you believe? You will. Not to get too dark or anything. I mean, it's not that serious, actually. Okay, shall we go to the phone lines? Are you ready? I don't know why I turned. I was just looking over here. I'm sure that the host will be taking care of that. I will just be looking over here for a moment while he does that. Don't worry. Are you taking care of it? He said he was taking care of it. I spoke to him telepathically. I only said it out loud so you could hear. The spirits have informed me that no one is ready to chat. That is okay. I will teach you about the secrets of spiritual renewal. In the body, there are many energies. As you focus inward, you will use these spiritual energies. They will become depleted. That is why I always recommend King Ashur's electrolytes for spiritual people. Not only does your physical body need electrolytes, but your spiritual body too. Would you like a glow like this? That is the power of spiritual electrolytes. You doubt me, don't you? I will show you. You just put a spoon of this in your juice or water once in the morning. Make sure you dissolve it properly. And you too will be able to perform these tricks. I don't mean tricks, I mean manifestations, of course. I haven't taken my electrolytes in 2 days, and yet that is nothing for me. I see you have questions, and yet you are afraid to call in. I will permit one question in the chat. What is your question, Seeker? I'm trying to read your mind, but something is blocking it. Have you had your electrolytes today? How do I get filled with the Spirit too? This question just came to me. I know someone out there in the chat is thinking this. This is the question on everybody's mind, actually. How? How do I get filled with the Spirit? The question has already been answered. If you look deep within, if you go back 2 minutes in the stream, the answer was already given. Electrolytes. I am sensing another question. Let me meditate so I may receive it. Ah, yes. What is it like to exist in multiple dimensions? Funny you should ask. It is much like a spoon. In one dimension, a spoon is a beautiful object, worthy of admiration. We have all had the experience of gazing upon a spoon, talking to it, listening. But a spoon may also be used for eating. In fact, it is what I recommend to scoop electrolytes. You see, something as simple as a spoon can exist in multiple dimensions. Now do you understand? I am looking over here for a moment, meditating. Sometimes my beard shifts dimensions. Would you like to see something else? Amazing. I know you would. Would you like to see my true form? You weren't expecting that, were you? Was that a trick? Or was that a mask? I am meditating. I have trained myself to meditate using micro muscular movements in my face. Observe. Let us go on a journey deep into your mind. Close your eyes. Actually, keep them open. I want you to be able to see me, of course. Close your third eye. No, actually, keep that open too. That would be necessary. Imagine that your eyes are closed. This will be part of the meditation. With imagined eyes closed, breathe deeply. Hold the breath. For 700 seconds. Breathe out. And you might say that that wasn't 700 seconds. But that is only true in the first dimension of time. But let us get back to the meditation. You are walking in a forest. A lush, green forest. A rainforest. You hear the sounds. Suddenly there's a silence. You see a light beaming down in a clearing. You hear the sounds of knocking. First, over here. Then, over here. Now behind you. Now in front of you. But you don't see anything. Just the forest and the light. The next thing you know, you hear whispers. Whispering to you from the trees. What are they saying to you? Put it in the chat, what these whispers are saying to you. Can you hear them? There must be a delay in the connection with spirit. I don't think they are whispering to you to listen to your farts. No, I don't think so. I think that is probably something else whispering to you. That may, oh, wait. I know what that is. You hear a scratching sound behind you. You turn around, and behind you is a Bigfoot. You didn't think he was real. You didn't believe. But Bigfoot is real, my friend. You decide to speak to him, thinking, oh my gosh, a Bigfoot. I've never seen a Bigfoot. I will say to him, hello, Bigfoot. Don't say that. They hate being called that. Never call them Bigfoot. I don't remember what they like to be called. Something. But it is not important, because you shouldn't speak to him. He was knocking, whispering to you about your farts. That's where he gets his his teleportation powers from your farts. He can always be found wherever flatulence can be found. He prefers campsites because people who camp prefer to eat canned beans. If you go camping and you want to avoid any Bigfoot encounters, there is only one way. Yes, my friends. You must take a healthy dose of electrolytes. The Special King Ashur 15th dimensional formula. This will prevent your farts from being detected by Bigfoot. Now back to the meditation. In this forest, now that you have cleared yourself, you have taken your electrolytes. The Bigfoot is gone. Do not look behind you. He is no longer there. He will no longer bother you. And yet, the knocking sound has increased. What is this knocking sound? Do you know? My friends, have you ever heard of a goblin? Yes, they are real. And they like to knock. They're knocking. Will you answer? It is not a rhetorical question. I'm asking you, will you answer their knocking? Because they will not stop until you do. And the meditation cannot move forward until you answer them. So will you answer? I have received a message from the spirits that someone has answered the goblin's knocking. You walk forward 3 paces. In front of you is a wall appearing out of nowhere. To the left, a hallway. To the right, a pit of fire. Do you turn left or do you turn right? If you said turn right, that is correct. Because if you had gone left, it would not have been interesting at all. You turn right, and you stand in front of the pit of fire. How will you get across? I'm waiting because I don't know. This is your meditation. No, you may not hop on the goblin. That only angers them. How do you not know this? You never hop on a goblin. I feel like you've never done any spiritual work at all. Even a novice would know that. I'm only looking over there to test you. Hold on. I'm getting a message. I am needed in the 13th dimension. Wait. No, sorry, the 12th. I will have to be going now. I hope that you learned something. There are many more things to learn. Hopefully our paths will cross again. But if not, remember. Remember, my friends. If you remember nothing else from tonight, remember this. 2 things, actually. Remember to take your electrolytes. And remember, never, under any circumstances, hop on a goblin. You are not ready. No. Namaste. I am reaching back here for no reason at all. Just for comfort, actually. But I will be going now. Don't worry about what I'm looking at. That's just a mental trick. Goodbye. I'm waiting. You will not let me go. Your energy is too strong. Why? Someone out there is keeping me here. Who? All right, how was that? I was only able to get a little bit of it because I didn't have my headphones on. But I heard something about goblins and farts, so hopefully that was helpful. But let's see what we got going on X. Have you guys heard about these Scientology raids? So now they've got all these people that are like raiding Scientology centers, I guess, in California. And this time they had 12 dwarves raid the Scientology headquarters.
Let's go! MVP! Let's go! Woo! Where's Vito? Jesus is king, baby! Oh, go! Let's find Vito!
They go in the building.
Oh, go!
I'm gonna find out where you guys live, and I'm gonna go to your house.
Today,
I'm going to go to your house. It's probably in the woods, lady. That was pretty crazy. I like how he's yelling, Jesus is king. Jesus is king, baby. Like, oh, wow, Christians, you're really owning the Scientologists. Here it is again. Jeez. This is like a weird trend. Before it was like people wearing masks and shit doing it. This has got to be some kind of weird psyop. Yeah, this is probably worse than January 6th, honestly. This is crazy. What? He's saying the telepathy tapes are a psyop? No shit. Holy crap, dude. These data centers are bathing the town in Crowell, Texas in constant artificial light. Jeez. That is fucked. There's so much propaganda right now around AI and data centers and saying like, oh, they don't really use that much water. It's just bullshit. Let's see here. Deep State is now pivoting from Project Bluebeam to creating a holy war between humans and demons. What is Project Bluebeam? I mean, I've heard of it. Okay, hold on. I gotta blow my nose here a second, guys. Give me a second. I'll be right back. Turns out I don't have anything to blow my nose, so just gonna suck it up. Double entendre, get it? Okay, well, Project Bluebeam is a 1990s conspiracy theory developed by Serge Monast, alleging that NASA and the UN are planning to use advanced technology to stage a fake alien invasion or second coming to implement a totalitarian new world order. The plan involves manipulating archaeological knowledge, creating a massive 3D space-based holographic light show. I feel like that wouldn't work. Like, I can see why they gave up on that plan. Like, anytime I hear about that, I'm like, I don't know. I just can't imagine anybody buying that. Oh, damn. Hold on a second, guys. I'm going to take a little electrolytes real quick. Let me just stir these up real quick. There we go. All right. Keith says he uses Bluebeam for his architecture software. I could have told you that. I know what you guys are planning. Oh, yeah, that's right. In Olympus, it's like that blue tractor beam thing. Yeah. Spoiler alert. Damn. Electronic low-frequency waves for telepathic communication to mimic divine voices, and faking an alien invasion to cause global panic. The ultimate goal is to destroy traditional religious beliefs and national identities to establish a unified New Age religion and single total world government. The conspiracy claims to utilize AI, advanced holograms, and satellite technology to create artificial events to manipulate public perception. This theory is considered a fringe, unsupported conspiracy theory not based on credible evidence. It's often conflated with but distinct from the real Project Blue Book, which you can read about in the NSA declassified document. Oh boy. It was the first government sort of, on the record anyways, project scientific study of unidentified flying objects. Look at that. 12,000 sightings, 701 remain unidentified. Okay, so that's that. But let's see what Stephen Greer has to say. Why do these people always look like aliens? Stephen Greer. No, he actually looks kind of normal. Maybe it's just that angle.
Because we pretty much have exposed.
Oops. Sorry about that.
Because we pretty much have exposed the falsehood of a fake alien invasion. Now they're going to try to pivot it to it being a holy war between humans and the agents of Satan, et cetera, and so on. So it's a very, very reckless, irresponsible, and dangerous thing that the Vice President of the United States would say that. And I am going to be quite clear with people that he knows who are on my team that that cannot be allowed to be repeated. So, no, it's one thing, Tucker Carlson is saying that you have a lot of the far-right religious people who don't understand the cosmology and the physics of interstellar travel saying it, and it's a bunch of superstitious claptrap, because we pretty much have exposed the falsehood of
superstitious claptrap. What does Freddie Mercury have to do with anything? Did he say that?
How did it feel to be the first person of color to fly to or around the moon?
You know,
Good question.
Amaya, thank you for the question. And I will tell you, one of the things about swinging for the fence and trying to, like, you know, hit a home run when the game is on the line is, if you think about that can add pressure and make you not, you know, go up there and play your best game. And so I focused a lot on working with this team and trying to be a good teammate, to them and also receive from them their good teamwork. And I think one of the reasons we were as successful as we did is we spent a lot of time thinking about us and not me individually. And so I would answer this by maybe just making a visual lesson here, that I spent a lot of time thinking about this patch and not this patch. And now we get to be here and we get to talk about it, though.
Yes. How did it feel?
That's weird. Imagine if they had done this mission when it was like Kamala Harris, like how different it would be. They obviously had set it up before, assuming that it would be like Kamala Harris, and then they were like, well, fuck, we can't go on and on about women and people of color and shit. So yeah, let's just kind of pivot from that. Spirit Airlines is going under. This is interesting. I don't know if you guys have heard this already. This is a guy who's normally talking about AI and like the problems with AI alignment.
I'm 30 years old. Not one of my friends has children. Zero. No one. No one's having kids. Do you know how hard you need to abuse a mammal to make them not have children? Like for real. Like let's step here back a moment, right?
Never thought of it that way.
Yeah, look, GDP goes up. People have enough food, you know, and whatever. No one's having kids, and this is across the world. This is across both the West, the East, you know, everywhere it's happening. So there's a thing that happens, especially with like even younger than me. Like the kids are like 18 today. There's a huge problem where they don't dance. No one dances. They go to clubs and they don't dance. Why is this? Because you get recorded.
Yeah.
If you're an 18-year-old kid, you go to a club, you get recorded. If you approach a girl and you mess it up, you get recorded. Everything is the panopticon now. So if you had to ask me why, my answer is technology. My answer is social media. My answer is AI. My answer is algorithms. Do you know what dating app algorithms do? Do you know how they optimize? They don't optimize for you to meet your love of your life. They optimize you to keep coming back to the app.
Yeah.
And now there's a thing that basically we have sold out all of our...
Oh, that's a crazy point, actually. I never thought about that. With the dating apps, they don't want you to go on there and find somebody. Not that they don't want you to, but their incentive is to keep you just coming back to the app. So they literally could be analyzing your behavior, the other people's behavior, and matching you on purpose. Dating app algorithms. Behavior-based ranking. What does that mean? They employ machine learning to analyze engagement, login frequency, swipe behavior, response time, and collaborative filtering to match you with users similar to those you've interacted with, aiming to maximize engagement and boost or premium features.
And if you want a lot of new signups, you don't want to hit them with a ton of questions up front. You want them on their service and swiping as soon as possible. That means that modern dating algorithms are based less on your biographical information and more on how you use the app, who you're liking and messaging, and how other people are responding to you.
The most popular dating app, Tinder, launched with an ELO rating system originally designed to rank chess players. Basically, everyone is assigned a desirability score, and it goes up when someone swipes right on you and down if someone swipes left. But the swiper's score matters. If you get liked by a more desirable person, your score will go up a lot. But if you get rejected by an undesirable person, your rating will take a big hit. As in chess, the point is to match players who are in the same league, so to speak.
After some criticism that their system was just a fancy hot or not game, Tinder said in 2019 that it did not rely on the ELO system anymore, but didn't say explicitly that it had been retired or what new system may have replaced it.
Hinge, another popular dating app, uses an algorithm originally developed by Nobel-winning economists Lloyd Shapley and Alvin E. Roth, which was designed to be a solution to the stable matching problem. Given two groups of people with individual preferences, how do you pair them up so that no two people would prefer each other over their assigned partner?
The solution is to allow one group, let's say in our very hetero example, the men, to make proposals to the women in order of preference. If a woman receives a better offer than her current partner, she can accept it. Once all the men have finished making their proposals, there will be no two people who would prefer each other over their current partner.
While neither Tinder nor Hinge are specific about how these algorithms are put into real-world practice, it does raise questions about some of their paid features. Hiding information about yourself or being able to access profiles that are out of your league, doesn't that subvert?
There's just so much emphasis on looks and like desirability. You know, that's the problem these days. You know, what the hell happened to my screen? Oh, let me fix that. I don't know what's going on. Anyways, it's just people become so obsessed with their attractiveness, how they looks maxing, to where it's like you just see everybody kind of morphing into the same exact picture presentation, you know? And you guys, you got to really not fall for that. It doesn't matter how attractive you are. All that matters is confidence. All that matters is, you know, purpose. You know who you are. Women respond way more to purpose and confidence than attractiveness. I'm telling you. So, anyways, that's crazy though. It's just crazy. What's up, guys? Let's see. What else should we talk about? You know, it is hard though being attractive. You know, I can't speak for everyone, but Drake's asking who's hosting my live stream right now. The problem with Botox is even when you laugh, your face barely moves. I'm trying to figure out how to get it back to the original. Maybe if I just press undo. What's up, guys?
Our dating norms, all of our, our interpersonal norms, to tech companies without our consent to optimize their ad algorithm. Right. I think there's a deep thing where we as a society have not dealt with the fact that we have to steward technology responsibly. We have treated technology as a Wild West.
Absolutely.
Just everyone can do whatever they want. Just sell all of our younger generation's dating lives to corporations for profit. And who pays the cost for this? Who has liability? So I think the real problem is that we are, as a society, as a government, the generations that came before me, and also my generation, I don't want to exclude myself from this, but also the generation came before me, just let technology rip. The promise was, if you let technology rip, if you let internet rip, there will be democracy and freedom and happiness and economic growth. And where is that? And I think my generation is noticing that broken promise.
We are in a war, a racial religious war since 1492, as I'll elucidate in a little while. But we are in a battle for hearts and minds and souls, certainly. This is Virginia Tech. This is the context of which we're speaking. 300,000 acres of stolen land, a revenue raised of 285,000 from, in terms of interest from this land. This is the context. This American entity that is about to celebrate, well, it's more than 250 years, but is about to celebrate its 250th anniversary. I don't think it should see its 250th anniversary, but that is the point. But I'd like to also thank the blessed students, as well as the organizers at Virginia Tech. If settler immigrants actually contended with the fact that America is the larger monster.
Oh, was I muted this whole time? I'm just talking and talking to nobody. Maybe I clicked it. Oh, I think I just, when I undid stuff, that's what happened. Thanks, Sandro. Apparently, U.S. government says the war in Iran is over. What in the fuck? A beekeeper has just been sentenced to 6 months in jail after releasing hives of bees during an eviction, causing chaos and injuring others. It's making all the beekeepers look bad. Interesting. If there's anything that even has a hint of AI, there's strong opposition to it. You can see that. I don't really want to talk about this thing because we're probably going to talk about it on the podcast, but there's so many people going back and forth about this whole thing with these teenagers that couldn't pronounce silhouette, extraordinary, or what was the other word? Gauche. Yeah, it's fascinating. Students can't read a sentence containing incorrectly used French words. This is because schools abandoned phonics. Perfect case of education discourse. Schools, in fact, suck, but the demonstration of this is bad and the diagnosis of the demonstration is wrong. Okay. For the most devoted fans, Disney has engineered an ecosystem of financial entanglement. Oh, damn. See ya, Keith. Which keeps the magic and the debt perpetually compounding. In 2023, Ashley, a freshman at Quinnipiac University in Connecticut, had $15,000 in her bank account. Where is this going? Excited by her newfound freedom as a college student, she decided to start going on solo trips. Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida seemed like an obvious choice. She went during her winter break. She returned 6 times in 2 years. Soon enough, her account balance had dwindled to just $5. Did she spend it all at Disney World? One woman who had been to Disney World more than 100 times said that visiting the parks takes her back to a time when she had fewer worries. It's the nostalgic feeling of what brought you joy when you were little and you didn't have the stressors of adult life. Jeez. The Disney adult yearns for a homogenous Christian society? What? Disney debt is distinct. For some of the most loyal parkgoers, there's an addictive, almost competitive aspect to it, partly because of merchandise collecting. There are people who just need that souvenir, the next item in their collection of bags or ears. She believes there's a hierarchy of both collectors and visitors so that people feel compelled to return to the park to impress others and earn their elder status. I compared a lot to church. 20 years ago, when she was in her mid-20s, she was feeling jaded and started medicating with Disney, as she put it. During her daily commute on the Staten Island ferry, she would read Disney guidebooks and think about her next visit. Jesus, dude. That is what I lived for. Disney World was the opposite of New York City. It was clean. It was sanitized. There were no surprises except good surprises. She took more than 10 Disney trips in 5 years and went $17,000 into debt. I needed to go into a space where I wouldn't have to think, and I was willing to pay for that. Damn. Please, please, please continue doing so. While your disposable income is spent, mine is invested. Why? Her choices don't impact your profits. Literally, everyone can invest passively. It's not a unique trick. Actually, they do. That's why I want them to spend their money. What the hell? Disney adults are literally just looking for the childlike joy of an innocence only found in knowing and loving Jesus. I think there's a lot to that statement. Damn you, Disney. Why would you make an unemployed person travel internationally 6 times to ride Space Mountain? Have you no mercy? If she went there 6 times for $14,995, she did great. I'm going to look up what it costs to go to Disney. What does it cost to go to Disney? A 2026 trip to Walt Disney. What's going on with my screen? Oh, never mind. Typically costs between $5,000 and $10,000 for a 1-week vacation. I mean, that just seems like a normal vacation. Let's see. Yahoo, Daddy! I'm Mickey Mouse! 4-day ticket. It's $100 a day. How do you spend $5,000? I guess for the hotel? I don't understand how you spend $5,000. I mean, hotel, travel, I guess that's what it's referring to. Yeah, tickets are $100 a day. So if you go for a week, or let's say you go for five days, or let's say you go for 4 days, if you have 4 people in your family, that's 1,600. Sorry, that's 400 for the tickets per person. So that's already 1,600. And you got travel and all that too. And you have to have the hotel. And you got to eat. So, I mean, okay. Doesn't seem like that crazy, actually. What happened here? This is how AI could crash the housing market? What does it say? The mother will not let her child be around kids on phones who play on Roblox, and she explains that. Okay. Wait, what? She's raising a suburban princess who isn't getting to be around people, acting wild, violent, and ratchet. Okay, let's see what she actually says.
You raising overexposed kids, your kids 6 and 7 years old, they got phones, they 10 and 11 years old, they got social media, they got TikTok, they doing all the social media trends, they talking to grown people on Roblox. Baby, my baby can't come around y'all. Bye. No, my baby can't come around you. I don't care. I don't care about your feelings. I care about my baby's safety. What do your feelings mean to me? What is that supposed to mean to me? Certain people I don't want her being around simply because I don't want her to even understand that some lifestyle choices are an option. Bye. You sitting around all day, you don't do nothing but eat Twinkies and stare at the wall, baby. I'm not coming around you. I'm trying to raise a productive, contributing member of society. What I look like bringing her around unproductive nation.
Oh, I get the comment now. She's raising a suburban princess who isn't going to be around people acting. Okay. I thought they were saying, I thought that was like a negative comment. Do Freemasons worship Lucifer?
I would like to say that according to Albert Pike, he says, Lucifer, son of the morning, it is he that bears the light.
Yeah.
And who with splendors intolerable blinds the feeble souls. Doubt it not, for the traditions are full of divine revelations and inspirations, such as Plato, Philo, etc. So he is saying that it's not for everybody, but according to the 19th degree, they are supposed to despise the pomps and works of Lucifer, even though he's the one that brings light.
Yeah, so love to take that one out of context, don't you? So the full quote is, the apocalypse. Now, granted, this is like a 1,000-page book on comparative religion. The word Lucifer is mentioned in this one section. Here is the full quote, and technically not even the full one because there's a lot more to it. But the apocalypse is, to those who receive the 19th degree, the apotheosis of that sublime faith which aspires to God alone and despises the pomps and works of Lucifer. Love to leave that part out. And then you start with Lucifer, the light bearer, strange and mysterious name to give to the spirit of darkness. This is Pike commenting on the irony of the etymology of the word Lucifer, meaning light bearer, to describe a spirit of darkness. And then he goes on, Lucifer, son of the morning, another morning star, another meaning of Lucifer. Is it he who bears the light? And with its splendors intolerably blinds feeble sensual or selfless souls. He's essentially saying it is first ironic that Lucifer, which means light bearer or morning star, is a name given to a spirit of darkness. And as part of that irony, perhaps it's because Lucifer, who bears the light with its splendor, blinds the feeble.
But does he bring the revelation?
No.
Well, that's what he says. He says, for the traditions are full of divine revelations and inspirations from this Lucifer.
What's your implication, Jay, that Pike worships Lucifer? What
Albert Pike is a perennialist, so perhaps. But the next paragraph says the Zohar.
What's a perennialist? Perennialist. Whoops. Perennial philosophy, perspective that all major world religions and traditions share a single universal divine source of truth and wisdom. Okay. Yeah. What's the beef between Catholics and Freemasons? Forbids its members from joining Freemasonry under penalty of automatic excommunication. Catholicism views Masonry as a rival religion, utilizing temples, altars, rituals, and a great architect of the universe concept that does not require belief in the Trinity or Jesus. Secret oaths. Catholics are forbidden from taking secret oaths. Historically, Freemasonry, especially in Europe, has been linked to movements that oppose the Catholic Church's influence. The Vatican continues to define membership as a state of grave sin. Interesting. Well, there you go. The blood of 3rd century Saint Januarius miraculously liquefied in Naples today. What the fuck? That was weird. Oh, I remember watching this one time. Hold on, check this out. Dalai Lama prayer. We talked about it a long time ago on the podcast. It was so weird. Let's see if this is what I'm looking for. No, that's not what I'm looking for. Look at that. Oh, no. I want one where it's just like the whole... Maybe it wasn't the Dalai Lama. Maybe I thought it was. Live Buddhist prayer. Dude. Whoa. Look at this thing, dude. This is crazy. Here's the Buddhist or the Muslims. What's the difference? No, I don't want monks. Do nuns do prayer? I don't know. I kind of doubt we're going to see some like nuns thing on video. They probably wouldn't film it, I would guess. Nuns pray at Golgotha. They're just sitting there. Perpetual adoration. just this picture. Let's see what the comments say. Almighty Father, I should cover my scores today and meet all the metrics by morning. For the sake of his sorrowful passion, have mercy on us and the whole world. Lord, please heal our hearts. Thank you for all the blessings you have given me, Jesus. Please heal my son's cough and cold and bronchitis. Please heal my ear irritation and itching. Please heal... Oh, dang. She's just... Please give my son good behavior. Please make my husband's cholesterol and pressure normal. Jesus, dude. Please strike all our enemies, manager, RR, and team members, and senior leaders and stakeholders in management with 7 swords, especially Sword of Elisha, Messiah, and Saint Gabriel. What? Jesus, I am suffering with my Christ. Jesus, I will take up my cross and follow Jesus. Redeem me, Jesus. Jesus, I am in deep, deep pit. Hear my voice. Hear my cry. Hear my plea. See my tears. I am calling you in faith and truth. Remove me from this deep pit and keep me on high rock firm and strengthen me. Dude.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/.
You guys ever seen Supreme Master?
More multiple faces, multiple qualities, multiple expressions than just this physical being that we know ourselves to be. We have forgotten that. For example, the whole being here is me, like from head to toe. Yes, the whole being. I'm not just a toe, I'm not just a finger, I'm not just a forehead. The whole being is me. But if I just remember my toes or my fingers, then I am not complete. Then it's not me, it's not complete. Similarly, if we just remember that we are a physical human being, then we are not complete. I am here today with the honor of God's permission and endowment to remind us, our fathers and mothers, brothers and sisters, and little brother, little sisters, that We should remember our whole being, and I show you how. It is very simple to remember. More simple than breathing, more simple than eating.
Let me just cut to the chase. She's going to talk about electrolytes, so I don't think we really need to go there. Supreme Master Ching Hai.
Can you imagine singing without anything? Well, I do that sometimes.
Supreme Master Ching Hai. They had these restaurants. There was one in Houston. Commonly referred to as Suma or Supreme Master Ching Hai, a British citizen of Vietnamese descent. The spiritual leader of the Guan Yin Famin or Kuan Yi Method transnational cyber sect. Wow. Ching Hai founded the Loving Hut vegan restaurant chain and vegan celestial shop fashion company. Though Ching Hai can be stern from time to time with her disciples, she can often be seen happily singing simple romantic folk songs with them for hours at a time. She's the founder of Loving Hut restaurant chain. We used to go there a lot, actually. It's like all vegan, back when we were doing like more like vegan style eating. And it's pretty good though. 200 locations in 35 countries worldwide. That's crazy. Ching Hai is a textbook example of what social scientists call a charismatic prophet. I wanted to know, like, how did she become a prophet, though? Ching Hai first administered the Immeasurable Light Meditation Center and the Way of Sound Contemplation, or Kuan Yin method of meditation. Involves meditating on inner light and the inner sound of God or Buddha. Oh, interesting. Kind of like what we were talking about earlier, remember? See, it always comes full circle. It always comes full circle. Where was I? Hai states that it has been repeatedly used by major religions. Enlightenment through concentration on the subtle inner sound, and then Buddha asserts that is how enlightenment is won. So you just meditate. While she was in deep spiritual retreat under a very old teacher who evidently taught the way of Surat Sabda Yoga, this final enlightenment evidently dawned. After her breakthrough, Ching Hai continued to practice deep meditation for many months, then went to Taiwan. In departure from Christian doctrine, Ching Hai claims that God is not the creator of humans. Rather, karmic accumulation is responsible for the repeated transmigration of the soul. Huh. They're banned in China. Fundamentally anti-communist. Labeled the group as Zhe Zhao, roughly translating to evil cult, but clarified in 2000 as meaning any group that establishes an illegal organization in the name of religion, qigong, etc., deifies its leaders, initiates and spreads superstitions and heterodox beliefs, utilizes various means to fabricate and spread superstitions and heterodox or cultic beliefs to excite doubts and deceive the people and recruit and control its members by various means. Engages in disturbing social order in an organized manner that brings injury to the lives and properties of its citizens. I mean, all they're doing is meditating and selling vegan food. Banned in Vietnam. It's crazy. When you would go to the restaurant, they'd be like playing their television channel like nonstop. And there's like all these like celebrities that were like supporting her, and it's just crazy. She's a supporter of Donald Trump and claimed Trump was God chosen leader of America and bringer of world peace. High supported overturning the results of the 2020 U.S. election. She's pretty prolific, though. Following the 1996 U.S. campaign finance controversy, sometimes referred to as Chinagate, an effort by the People's Republic of China to influence domestic American politics prior to and during the Clinton administration. Chinese officials eventually developed a set of proposals to promote their interests within the United States and to improve China's image with the American people. The most significant activity by Yalin Charlie Tree was a $450,000 attempted donation to Clinton's legal defense fund. That's it. Johnny Chung, the owner of a blast faxing business, automated system that quickly sends out faxes to thousands of businesses. What the hell? He donated $360,000 to the DNC. Huh. All these people are from Taiwan. I don't know, Taiwan. Wait, was the other guy from Taiwan? Taiwan. What the hell? That's weird, right? Taiwan. Indonesian. That's like the first mention of China. That's crazy. All right. Well, is it still on? Okay, cool. I'm going to leave it at that for tonight. I'm a little under the weather. I think I stayed up too late last night reading. I was reading, what is it? Damon. That book is pretty good, actually. I got to admit, when I'm wrong, I admit when I'm wrong. I didn't like it at first, and then Katie sold me on reading it, and then Drake sold me on reading it because Katie sold him on reading it. And I'm almost done with it, and it's pretty good. I'm definitely going to read the rest of the guy's books. I don't know what it was, like, I don't know, I just didn't like it at first, but it gets so good after, like, really not that far in, because I didn't go that far with it. I was just like, but it's pretty good. It's pretty good. So, yeah, I stayed up really late last night reading that. So I'm going to get some sleep and hang out with the kids before that. And, tonight's Saturday night, so no stream tomorrow night. Be back on Monday night, 8:30 p.m. And who knows? Maybe we'll have some other special guests. You never know. You never know. All right, everybody. Thanks for the chats, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a good night. Bye-bye.